No, don't 3, 2, 1 me. There's no. It's too broad to like to
It's
just
too
give it
late.
a one over like, yeah or no. It's like, you gotta give it a little bit more context than that.
Listen, the topic today is, can you control yourself and change yourself and make you who you want to be? Or are you stuck being who you are while trying to navigate on the path to becoming someone better? Now, my argument today is that you are who you are. You have intrinsic values and intrinsic parts of you that make you who you are, and you can't change them. If you're a jerk, you're a jerk. If you're gullible, you're gullible. Life can happen, and life can change you. This can be altered over time, but that is altering your innate nature, which you will always have something pulling you back to. Now, Lenny, what's your argument today?
Capable of change despite the circumstance, and I'm right, you're wrong. I win, like A+. Okay, is that good?
Let's get into the video. We are officially live. Um, we're calling this channel, what? Stephen Lenny? SNL?
That feels like it would get like.
Copyrighted real quick, yeah. I gotta turn your volume up here, because now your volume decreased for some reason.
Oh,
Alright, there we go. You're back up. You're back up where you need to be. So,
wonderful.
yeah, we'll skip the video intro, like the whole channel intro. Let's just go into the topic, man. We'll worry about the intros and all that stuff later. All right, you are who you are versus you can change. Let me start. Unpopular
Let's
opinion,
argue. Yeah,
man.
let's fight. All right, that's all this channel's gonna be, just us fighting.
You know what, motherfucker? Oh no, I can't say that.
Yeah, look, you lost. You lost the fight. Terrible bicker. I will bicker with you all day. Absolute
All right.
shenanigans.
So listen, check it out. Right. Here's why I say that you are who you are. For a very long time, not a very long time, for actually a very short amount of time in comparison. I'm 30, and for the past 2 years, I've resigned myself to the understanding that I'm a jerk. And there's nothing I can do about that. And as much as I would like to change that, I've worked very hard over the past 5, 6 years. I've worked very hard, well, really my entire life, trying to not be a jerk, trying to be thoughtful, trying to have very positive traits about myself. And I'm going to tell you right now, dude, it doesn't work. And, as far as going out and partying and trying to have fun, whatever, it's almost always a bad time, because I'm a jerk and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to change it. There's no mindset I can put myself in. The only thing that can change me at this point is, and when I say me, I mean everyone else like me. The world is huge. It's expansive. We are never the only one to feel or have anything happen to us uniquely. All right, that's what movies are for, right? This, all of us have repetitions. All of us have other people just like us, all right? And it's that way regardless of what station you're at in life, how you're feeling, where you were born, doesn't matter. There are so many similarities, so many different things that link us all together at the end of the day that it doesn't even matter. Nothing is unique to us. Yeah, I should have just said that, right? Had a whole mouthful. Nothing is unique to us, man. So I can tell you for a fact that when I say that I've tried for years to make myself better and to change the negative things that I dislike about myself, it's been unsuccessful, unfruitful. I am who I am. I do what I do. I think the way I think, and I feel the way I feel. And it's very unfortunate because I want to be this great guy. I want to be super smart and super charismatic and very thoughtful and very handy. I want to be very motivated. I want to do things, right? And that's where the whole argument of discipline comes in. But at the end of the day, I can't make myself be someone else. And then when people try, it's a mask. You can keep it up for a little while, okay? But it's not you. It's a mask, and you're doing your best to fit this persona, but it's a persona, and so it will wear off. It's going to exhaust you, and you're going to just, the whole shell's going to crack when you can't keep it up anymore. It's a facade. Now, go ahead, tear me apart.
Well, I feel like you already tore yourself apart because you already said things that you want. Like, you're 30 now. Over these past couple of years, you've changed straight away. So you have the capacity of changing, and I guarantee you're not the same person you were when you were 18. I'm sure you were not the same person you were when you were 24. Like, these things change. People change just naturally over time. We progress, and there are some things we can't change about ourselves that are innate to our personalities. But I don't believe that people are replicatable. That we can just be, like you're saying, people aren't unique, or like, yeah, maybe certain qualities are not unique. I mean, you're charismatic, and there are other charismatic men out there, but that doesn't mean that your type of charisma isn't unique to you, because they revolve on your circumstances and your upbringing and just you as a person. So when it comes to things we want to change about ourselves, you're more than capable of changing most of those qualities, the negative ones, if you really want to. If you really want to, like, not be a jerk, which is so broad, I don't even know where to begin with that. 'Cause I don't believe you're a jerk. I don't think I've ever seen you be a jerk.
I have
But
other colorful
you,
adjectives that I can't use on YouTube. Jerk is the best I got. But I got about
okay,
four
well,
different words.
from my perspective, I've never seen you be a jerk at all. So that's not entirely true. You can be a jerk. You have the capacity to be a jerk, but I don't believe it defines you. That doesn't define. So wanting to change this quality, like, I could be, a jerk, or to keep it PG, I can be a jerk as well.
You cut out a little
Not
bit,
to,
and it sounded like you said, I can be a gerbil. And I love that, and I'm keeping that in the video. I can be a gerbil too. I'll be a chipmunk if you let me. No one's going to tell me how to live my life.
I guess so. We can be whatever we want in this day and age. So I can just do what I want.
I want to know what you mean by innate. There are things of our innate nature that we can't change. What do you mean by that? What are the innate qualities that we cannot change?
I would say that there are certain. If I had to give you an example, I have a lot of patience, like, when it comes to people,
You do.
right?
Too much. Which is
Exactly.
why you have
But that
friends
is
like
it.
me.
Maybe you are a jerk, and maybe I'm just, like, too patient to
Well, you are.
this is something we.
But also, when you're too patient, my jerkiness comes in handy. Like, hey, well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. We don't know. He gets no benefit. He gets no doubt. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Out of here.
Oh, come on, Steve.
That
You didn't have to. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
See, that probably comes from your more aggressive nature, not so much you being a jerk, but just your more aggressive nature of wanting to take more direct action. Whereas, like, the patient nature I have with people is not due to a lack of wanting some more of an action, but I do believe that I do strongly believe that most people are capable of redemption, and that there's very few things. There are some things you can't come back from. There are some people that are fully, just rotten to the core. There's no coming back from them. It's just who they are, and there isn't change for them.
Done deal.
But
Yeah.
but before they get to that point, I believe there is change. I believe there is that's why we have a lot of the processes we have in society. That's why we have people that we advocate for things like therapy, is to help people make changes in their lives to better themselves
However, therapy
before
is a willful admission that you are not enough to change yourself. Keep that in mind.
it's a willful admission that you're not enough to change yourself.
Yeah, it is. It's saying that I need outside help, which means that I dropped the ball on myself. Now I got to go cry to somebody else so they can help me, because I'm not good enough to change myself on my own. And then you have people that say there's nothing wrong with
I
needing
wouldn't say it that
help.
way.
And then we go back to the theme of the video. All right, how do you say?
No, wait, hang on. If you're see, if I am, like, okay, so I've lost about, was it 90 pounds over the course of like 2-3 years. It's been,
Yes, you have.
but, okay, but I had to start that process somewhere, and it wasn't just me being like, I'm gonna do it all myself. I asked you for help. You know, I asked you for help with working out. I asked you for help with my diet. I asked you for help with a lot of those things. Now, it's not that I felt like I couldn't do it on my own, because I probably could have Google searched a lot of things, but I sought a more.
Lenny, I lost you.
What the? I'm blanking on the word. Let's say a much more accessible route, something that I was more comfortable with doing, rather than just like taking it all on myself. I sought, your guidance. So I was in really good shape. So I'm like, all right, that'll do. I'm down for that.
You know, your
Right.
entire everything is completely frozen.
Also, your camera's frozen.
Oh, my camera's frozen. All right, and after a brief intermission of technical difficulties, we have returned.
Now you have glasses.
Yeah, now I have glasses. Got
Something
fancy glasses now. Hey. Who you talking to, punk?
Wow, big hacker man.
But when we ended, we were talking about how it was more helpful for you to reach out on your weight loss journey rather than tackle it alone, which makes plenty of sense. There's a lot of information out there that we don't have, things we don't know because that's not what we do. It's the difference between having a career and working a job. It's what you know, how much you know about it, how proficient are you at that field. So we reach out to people whose careers it is to, really accent and highlight the skills that we want to hone and work on. Not to the point of being a master in every craft. Renaissance man, that's a hell of a guy if you find him. But at the same token, so here's the thing: you joined a kickboxing gym, right?
Kickboxing, yeah.
How did that affect your weight loss journey?
Oh, it was wonderful. It did wonders for just weight loss in general, all the extra cardio. But it did much more for my mental state than I would say for my physical state. Now I could have just kept doing at home workouts and stuff like that of that nature, but it changed me mentally like by a lot. I would say a lot of the patients I have now. This wasn't here a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, I would say I was quite impatient with people, especially when it came to the context of relationships. Very impatient. I was very much stubborn, very much, oh, this is the way, I view it, and I know I'm right, so therefore the way you feel is completely irrelevant. Like, it was very, very much just linear thinking. Whereas boxing taught a lot about introspection, taught me a lot about constructive outlets. And this all shaped the man I am today. I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago. Yeah, I got the date start up there. It's about 3 years ago.
Shout out to the man
Very
who still
different
has a
person.
calendar on his wall. What a guy. Champion.
Yeah, you gotta have the calendar on the wall. It's a way of tracking progress. Kind of like you do, you do in a game. You can open up some kind of list or something that's like, oh, here's your progress of X, Y, or Z.
I
That's
may
why I have
not
the
be
calendar
wearing
on the
my
wall.
G-Shock today, but that's what the G-Shock is for. Day, date, time, done. You're good. Everything you need.
I don't know what a G Shock is. Is that a taser or something?
It's
What is it shocking?
it's
What?
that almost sounds like a sexual tool, doesn't it? Like a toy or something. No, a
Don't
G-Shock
shock.
is a watch. Okay. Now this, I got a normal watch on today, but a G-Shock is a digital watch where it shows you it's a digital watch. All right, that's what a G-Shock is.
You just said that. You just said on my digital watch I have all that there. Yeah, on my phone I have a clock too, but I still wear a watch. Yeah, on my phone I have a calendar, but I still pull one up. It's nice to visually see something like, physical that's not just on a phone or a screen. That's all I was saying instead. You didn't have to bust out the technology on me. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at me? What's so funny? I don't understand. Technology has left me in the dust, and here I am, trying to keep up. I'm simply a green Gnoblin trying to make his Gnoblin way in this world. My technology tree is simple. What?
At least you don't have gray hair yet. Or are you dying? Are you dyeing your hair, dude?
No, I feel like I have a really wonderful head of hair. It's like probably one of the things I really got going for me, so I don't want to change it.
You're doing a great job with technology, man. You're doing amazing. But, point
I
taken.
can turn on my computer. So I'm going places.
Oh, man. Let's not make this video just like normal, which is just me laughing and you saying stuff.
Yeah,
All right,
fine.
listen.
I'll keep it to myself.
I'm not putting baby in the corner. Now, listen, it's not what I'm doing here. All
I
right,
didn't
but
say anything.
okay, all right. I'm just making sure because I don't what look. No oppression. Okay, no oppression.
Couldn't put me in the corner if you tried. I wouldn't even fit in the corner.
You all right. Okay. Listen. Listen. Let's move forward into it. Right. So we go back to the topic. Janette's gonna forget. Wrote it down. You are who you are versus you can be what you want. You can change. Now we're talking about things that you took behavior and you changed how you approach things, and then that changed the outcome of things. It was a changed learned behavior. Can we call it that? Effectively, we call it learned behavior, right?
Mm.
Now, when we're talking about things such as personality traits, and this is very important, it's amazing that have you ever gone on YouTube, and this is some real grim stuff, but have you ever gone on YouTube and watched videos of family members reading suicide notes of people that had taken their own lives?
No.
It's some tragic stuff. It's super grim. But it always comes down to I wanted to be this and I wanted to be that and I couldn't do it. And the thing is that folks are giving up. They're giving up because they're trying so hard to be this person. They can't do it. And it tears some people apart. There's a reason why. Okay, you look at the world and you see what was your inspiration to lose weight, right? You want to look better. Well, who told you what's better? The world, right? So you look at the world and you say, I like that. People treat these guys well. Even when I was a musclehead, I can tell you leaps and bounds about how my life is completely different. I've lost 80 pounds, totally different, right? And I was big. People didn't really have too much to say. They were very happy to be around me. They didn't get upset with me as easily.
Mm.
You know, I can count on one hand how many times I had a problem with someone. And it was always alcohol involved because I was young, but at the same token, it was with other big guys. And it was just how that happened, but normal folks, even other big dudes, they just, they'll let you get away with stuff. Things don't bother you as much if it's a bigger guy doing it. That's just how it was. And I was in a lifestyle where what did you do? I was in college. You go to class, you drink, you go to the gym, you drink some more. That was it. You might go to the gym twice in one day. That was just the lifestyle. Now, if you were to ask me what my routine was, I had no idea. I'd have no clue what my routine was anymore. I don't know. But I can tell you a couple of things that I did on a regular basis. However, this is all a very wordy way, because I'm very wordy today. It's all a very wordy way of saying that there's things that you do because that's what you've been taught to do.
whether by yourself or someone else or your environment around you. And there's things you do because that's who you are, and you can't help it, right? So when I say I'm a jerk, I say that because I'd rather be self aware about who I am, my weaknesses, my shortcomings, my limitations. I want to know those things. Because if I have to go out in the world, right, people are relying on me to get things done. My entire life, my entire career is based around getting things done. I have to be reliable. You move the way that you have to move, but at the end of the day, you're going to react the way you're going to react, right? You are who you are inherently. So if you're not that person, right, then you're probably gonna have a taser out. You know what I mean? You're gonna be hitting for help real quick. But and that's really what you should be doing anyway. Don't get me wrong. And we're not going to go into the specifics of my job or what it is or anything like that. We're not going to go into that. But what I'm saying is there are certain things that you were tailored to doing and certain things that you were taught to do. And there's never any confusion. For example, there was a video on YouTube of a police officer coming up on a suspicious vehicle. It was in the middle of the woods. And it's a female officer. She goes up to the window. And what is Pup doing back there? She goes up to the she goes up to the window. She's asking questions. Guy pulls out a gun, right? And he just, she's here, right? This is the window. Guy sitting in the car. Female officer's here. Does one of these. She grabs the gun, grabs his hand, goes, "Please God, no, please God, no." Well, that's nature. That's an innate reaction. Now we know how police officers train. You're trained to control that weapon and then grab your own. If I grab you with this hand's free. Now I can draw my sidearm, my weapon, and control that situation. If I'm really confident, if I know I'm stronger than the other guy, I won't even draw anything. I'll just pull you out the car. You know what I mean? You have options based on your innate qualities. You see what I'm saying? Whereas opposed to me being thin now, I can't do what I used to do. Someone steps up to me, right? It was innate back then. It was also a product of learned behavior, the working out and the physical build that I had, but it's also innate based on that, right? Where my nature is non-confrontational. I don't want problems. I don't want smoke. I want to be cool. I want to be cool with everybody. I want to be everybody's best friend. I used to, anyway. And so, the guy's like, "Hey, man, let's give a real world example at a party. Hey, man, that's my girl. Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. Dude, man, it's dark. Everybody's, energy's high. And now I'm taking shots with this guy. You know what I mean? Where a minute ago he was like, "Hey, bro," he's in my face. You know what I mean? It's just different dynamic. Innate nature, not confrontational. Well, hey, dude, it's all good. Another example, right? At work one day at an unspecified time, location, right? in year, who knows? I was working construction back in 1947. All right, listen. So, I'm feeling loose one day. I don't have any, real gear on or anything, and I get into this, this verbal altercation, which is odd. I didn't initiate it, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you all right?" He's like, "Man, don't worry about where I'm going. I see you creeping around here, driving around here, watching me, following me. Don't worry about what I'm doing." Throws his bags down. I just recently, lost weight. I just hit, the 160 mark. So I was, at 6 feet tall, 160 really isn't that much. And so I think I'm at, 155, 160 now. I'm very, as opposed to, 190. You know what I mean? So at 30 pounds, it looks different, bro. It just 30 pounds looks different all over, And so I'm kind of confused. This guy's he's screaming at me. It's 12 o'clock at night. Okay, I get off at 3. Right. So I'm like, "All right, listen, dude. Are you okay? Do you need help?" Or he's got 7-Eleven bags in his hand. There's a 7-Eleven down the block, and my first thought is he's high. He's got to be high, because why else would he be acting this way? So I'm kind of checking around, seeing what he's, and he throws his bags down. Midnight. What's that?
7-Eleven at midnight, probably. I would say hi.
Yeah. Well, I've gone to 7-Eleven at midnight too. I used to get off work at, you know what I mean, ungodly hours. But I mean, and he's walking with bags, so he must live nearby. He's got to be a local. You know, I just never seen the guy before. So I walk up to him, because I'm thinking this, you know, I'm gonna help this guy out. Like he's having a rough one. This, you know, I'm not planning on putting any paperwork on him, and I didn't. Even at the end of it, all of this, I didn't put any paperwork on him, even though that was my mistake because I did suffer an injury, which is the moral of the story here. So I'm used to when people attack me. I'm used to eating. Well, I was used to eating that first hit, and then coming down and grabbing you or slamming on you or, you know, physically controlling you, you know, due to stature and size, right? That's what I was used to doing. So when he hit me, I didn't know I had taken a real injury. He, boom, got me good right here. I had no idea. My adrenaline was up here. I had no idea I took an injury. So I do the normal thing, except for he slips out of my hands. I'm like, what? What happened? You know, he's running. I throw something at him and trips him up. He falls, and you know, I'm screaming at him on the ground. I got him on the ground, like, don't you ever, who you think you are? You know who I am. And I'm reading the riot act, you know, and you got people coming out, looking out the windows, and you know, and you know, so you know, it was a whole thing, and you know, I'm reading this guy the riot act, and I remember I wrote up some paperwork on him, and I was like, I ever see you back around here again, and this paper is going straight to, you know, and they're in the whole riot act, man. And I never saw the dude again, but over the next 2 weeks, I started having abdominal pain, like bad, to the point where it was so painful to breathe that one of my buddies who was coming off work in a nearby area, he's like, dude, I'll hang out here and keep an eye on things for you. There's a patient first down the road. Check it out. So I go get checked out at patient first, and I have a lacerated abdomen. Bones are fine, no fractures, nothing. My ribs are fine, but my abdomen, my ribs, when he hit me, it pushed my rib cage into my abdomen, my soft tissue, so it cut it. And so, you know, the nurse came, or the doctor came back and said, it looked like Wolverine went to town on you, you know? And it was just white marks on a blue background. And it was just scrapes and scratches in all directions. And it just started swelling and pushing against my ribs. And so every time I exhaled, that's why it was so painful to breathe. Every time I exhaled, it would boom, push into my ribs, and it would tear even further. So I was just further injuring myself by breathing, you know? So I ended up getting on like these heavy, I didn't even know they had like super like high dosage, like medicated ibuprofen, and put me on that because I don't do painkillers, you know, anything like that. In fact, I've seen too many things go down with those. Even when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I just ground my teeth for weeks, which really messed up my jaws, but I digress. And you know, I had to take it really easy at work for a while after that. And because I didn't file paperwork, I couldn't have any sort of medical leave or anything like that. So, because, you know, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to let people go. But because of my ego and me being unaware, it was my first physical altercation after losing weight. I had no idea. My brain wasn't even ready to process how my body would react to taking hits now, you know. So that day I learned I have to duck now. It's super unfortunate. It's like it's life's hard now, man. If someone punches me, I gotta be, whoa, hey.
You gotta learn to dodge. Can't just, you know, face tank everything.
I can't face tank everything. And, you know, that's why I'm very hesitant about fighting, because my reaction time is super slow. And it's not super slow, but it's not like a fighter's reaction time. You know, I have enough reaction time to drive under hectic and high stress scenarios, but outside of that, I mean, like if you watch videos of Formula One drivers, man, their reaction time is insane. Learned behavior, that's trained, right? Which we go back to innate and learned, right? But me, I recognize my limitations. I recognize where I can succeed at and where I cannot succeed at, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that as long as you're doing your best, man, there's nothing else you can do. You can only do your best. And your best is very subjective. right? Your best is what you're capable of in that moment. That's your best. You know, so even your best today may not be your best tomorrow. You know, if your best is always at the top, then you're doing fine. You're doing better than 99% of the population already. Not a normal person. Congratulations, right? So there's all different ways to look at it, but at the end of the day, I think that these guys who go out and they unalive themselves because they're not feeling like they're good enough, or they're feeling like they're a burden and things of that nature. It's really themselves that they're not living up to. And that's the worst feeling. And I'll tell you from experience, it's an absolute terrible feeling. And I think that's also why I conduct myself like I used to on the job. It's like, dude, you come before me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm wearing all this stuff. I got all these things that are gonna, put me on the upper hand. But you, on the other hand, like, guys coming at you with a machete, or, hey, that guy just put a gun in my mouth. Well, let me talk to you, Mr. Putting Guns in Mouths.
Everything you're describing said is change. Like, everything you just described is change.
It's change, but it's not due to... It's due to change of circumstances, not change of innate nature. It's not change of what we have control over within ourselves. You can change your behaviors. And if you change your behaviors, that can change your lifestyle. Your lifestyle changes, your environments change. Everything changes along with that. But that's external. When it comes to internal change, you have the things that you can change about yourself through external changes. And then you have the things you cannot change about yourself. Such as, well, let's, here's, because I'm thinking about examples that contradict it, right? I'm thinking about things like political beliefs. Political beliefs. I believe that we should all have, same pay. And then you get into a position in your life where that actually harms you and your family, and then your perspective changes. That's why we have two parties, well, two dominant parties anyway, but two-party dominant system for politics. That's why. You can grow up a Democrat and become a Republican. You can grow up a Republican and become a Democrat. You know what I mean? And you really believe these ideals that you have in these political parties. You really believe that. It's a part of your identity. But it changes, right? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your innate reactions to things. For example, if someone insults your mother, are you ready to fight? Or are you going to respond with, coy, smart alecky remarks, right? Like, are you going to tear them down verbally, or are you going to tear them down physically? You know what I mean? What is your immediate reaction? And that's what I'm talking about. And impulsivity it kind of plays a part in that, but you can't change your feelings. Over time, your feelings can change based on external circumstances, but how you feel, how you react, your immediates, right? Those are uncontrollable. That's why they're called immediates. Because that's going to happen to you immediately. You're going to feel this way. You're going to think this thing, right? External circumstances, hard work on yourself, maybe you can change it, but you got to be very intelligent to do those types of things. For example, people's intelligence is capped. You can't change that. You can read books, expand your vocabulary, but look at me, for example. I learn all this new stuff, and I start forgetting other stuff. Almost like I'm a computer running out of memory. I'm rewriting. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people like that. The more we learn, the more we forget. So now we start trying to control the information that we learn. You know what I mean? I used to have a very intimate knowledge of muscle groups and workout routines and different patterns and different exercises, all this types of stuff. These are very intimate knowledge. My roommate was a physical trainer. You know what I mean? I had a lot of stuff going. Now I can't tell you anything except for shrugs, curls. You gotta curl like this, because then it'll work for the whole muscle group. If you know what I mean? Like, I can tell you a little bit about it, but not remotely the whole thing. I could never go and replicate what I used to do.
Yeah,
because
'cause
they
the
just don't have that
information,
knowledge set anymore.
it's not relevant anymore. Like, I mean, if you ask most people to, I don't know, do fractions or some of the stuff they learned in math class in school, they're not going to remember that stuff because it's not relevant
2/3 is
information anymore.
66.6%, sir.
It's like if the information is relevant, your mind will more than likely do its best to like retain the information. But if it's not relevant, it's nothing wrong with the information kind of getting scrubbed. Still, everything
Sort
you're
of.
describing sounds like change to me. When you're saying like things that are not changeable, instinct. If you're talking about instinctual things about like your mom getting attacked, yeah, I guess that that's just a natural instinct you'll have to protect your family. So yeah, that not something that would change, nor should you want it to change. If
Now
you're
let's
gonna change
talking about being
anything,
quick to anger. Out of instinct, we're gonna go to impulsivity because this is where I really want to get your take on. Because this is what I firmly
okay,
believe. There are so many things, so many impulses that I have that I can't change, and I wish that I could. I try really hard to change them, but my brain is going to do what my brain's going to do. Now, I'm not sure how common or uncommon this is, but I genuinely cannot get my brain to do what I want it to do, and I'm sure that's very common. I would hope that's very common. Otherwise, I'm just a moron, right? If it's common, then it's normal. If it's not common, then I'm dumb. So that's how life goes, isn't it? But um, there's a lot of things like that. If you were to tell me something, I would feel a certain way about it. If something were to happen in front of me, I would react a certain way. Nervous laughter. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I've been trying to teach myself for years to not nervous laugh. Or like if I don't know what to do, I laugh. And we all know why. You want to introduce comfortability through laughter, humor, it's all okay, right? And then someone can tell you something very serious, makes you uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, my dog just died. Oh, that's so terrible. Why are you laughing? Right? Like, and then you enter yourself in a really awkward scenario because you were uncomfortable and you laughed, right? You giggled, you snickered, right? Now they're thinking that you're laughing at their real grief and pain, and then you have
I
to be
just thought
that
I was
person.
funny, and all this time, and you were nervous laughing at me. Who would have thought?
Yeah, no, you're not funny at all.
Yeah, got me. Confirmed. Okay. So, not to cut you off, but what you're describing is a common thing. What you're describing is people uh, that are emotionally driven. Look, the fact is that most people won't change these like sort of things about themselves unless either there's an extreme event, right? If there's some sort of extreme event that causes you to uh, be compelled to make a change, sure, but sort of that, no, like yeah, most people generally will do things based on emotion and how they feel at the time. That's why there's big things about like people will always act on how they feel and why cognitive dissonance is such a big thing. If you can't change the facts, you got to change. Or what? How's it go? It's like if you can't change your mind, you have to change the fact. And so people's stories will constantly change. You'll hear this all the time when anyone goes through any sort of uh, altercation or drama. That's why it's very prudent to be able to record these things for like say officers, like in your line of work. The reason why that's there is because two different people are like you and the person, the suspect or whatever, is going to view the situation completely differently based on your own point of view. Like so yeah, if you're asking me like what's my take on people's emotional response to things, that's just it. It's just an emotional response. But you can have that if you have that level of introspection to look at yourself, which you clearly do. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be asking yourself these questions. Most people are just stuck in their ways and they don't believe there's any reason to change. And I believe that's more dangerous than anything is the cost of not changing. It's
I
just
agree.
simply staying stuck in your ways. So I would not say that you're well, obviously I don't think you're dumb at all. And I don't think that anything you're doing is particularly out
You
of the
what, mate?
ordinary. I mean, look at those glasses, right? Like, look at those glasses. Clearly, you're smart. Look at you, nervous laughing again. See, once again, now I'm self-conscious. Now I don't think I'm funny anymore because I just laughing. Look, you're smiling. It's nervous. Your nerves. I'm making you nervous, Dad? Are you feeling nervous right about now? Yeah, see, you're all hot and bothered. He can't handle it. He can't do nothing. He's nervous laughing again. Oh my God, he's gonna drop his drinks.
You're a real catch, man. You're a real peach. Heck of a guy.
Oh, you sure know how to make a girl blush, let me tell you.
Anyway, man. Let's go ahead and wrap up. So guys, I'm Steve.
Oh, you told my man?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks for listening.
Surely taking off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We're launching with vigor and force, with expedience and gratuity. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
with the Harvard.
We're going
pal.
places.
Yeah, we're going places. We're skedaddling
With
to
those
the
glasses,
battle.
definitely good. What?
I love them, man. I think there's some people got the magnets. I love these, dude. The flips, it's old school, man. It's 90s. Remember when they used to wear them up like this in the 90s? Be like, hey, what's up, dog? Oh, it's getting a little bright out here. Let me just, oh yeah, I love it. Old school, man. Not really old school, like mid school. 90s is mid school.
My fellow millennials, I come to you today with these glasses.
Mm-hmm. I bringeth thine and throwback.
Well done, stud. You did it again. All right.
Yep, sounds good, man. All right. Till next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We're going to have various different topics about mental health, men's health in particular, but also topics regarding all types of emotional and mental fortitude. We are not a red pill or blue pill or whatever pill channel, purple pill. We're not any of that. We're just here to talk about what goes on in our heads and our minds. Yep. If you want to reach out, ask a question, you can do that in the comments. Sound about good?
Did I win?
You won.
Sick.
Good work, man.
You should put that in the comments too. Lenny wins.
Does that come after first?
But
with that said, thank you for tuning into my ASMR channel.
Thanks, guys. Be safe.
Make good choices.
Lifestyle.